We're live on Joy News, coming to you from our studios in Kokomlemle. We are on Go TV channel 124 and DSTV channel 421. We are on DTT because we're free to air. This is Joy News Prime. Coming up this evening, President of the National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT, lambasts authorities of the St. Monica Senior High School following the death of a student after she was allegedly denied exit to seek medical attention. Also this evening, nationwide shortage of LPG by Friday as part of Kumasi and Nkoko report strictly scarcity after more than 72 hours of tanker drivers strike. Plus, residents of Santroko, Filolobi, Bori and Akpafo kick against government's intention to mine iron ore deposits in that area. Later in business.
Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry, Dr. Stephen Amwa, raises concern about the consistent hike in the policy rate by the central bank, insisting that it is impeding the growth of industries.
Companies in our countries cannot grow organically because there is inadequate funds. And even the Russian funds that they will get from the banks will always have double-digit interest rate. What it means is that the companies cannot expand enough to employ the labor force.
Remember, we are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter at Joy News on TV. My personal handle is @Vanana Aisha. Please stay for details. Many thanks for choosing us tonight. Unwinding queues have begun building up at some gas outlets in parts of Kumasi and Nkoko in the Ashanti and Eastern regions following a nationwide strike by tanker drivers. That's according to LPG Marketers Association, who say many of its members have begun recording shortages. Before then, the Association of Oil Marketing Companies indicated that more than 4,000 outlets across the country are going to run out of fuel because the pump stations had not been refilled following the tanker drivers' nationwide strike over terrible roads leading to its depots. Though the Roads Ministry is scheduled to meet the transporters Thursday, Union Chairman George Nyanu says they will not back down.
The strike is still going on. Just yesterday, I immediately called the strike. In the evening, the road and highway minister called me and said he's out of the country. So hopefully he will be in today. Therefore, he would like to engage us tomorrow being Wednesday, being the holiday. I said, okay, fine. As a honorable, we will give you that honorable respect. So anytime you are ready to meet us, we'll call all the executives to meet you, to listen to what you have for us. But what we are looking for is only to fix the road for us.
Consumers have been expressing concerns over a likely shortage, thereby urging government to quickly intervene.
You know, fuel is a very essential commodity. We all know that. So anything that will cause a fuel shortage, I think should be one of the major priorities of any government. You get, because I mean, fuel ties into almost all aspects of the economy. With fuel, I mean, you know, when you understand that fuel is one of our major important commodities. So, any government that is a serious government will not joke with fuel issues. You see, so I think that I would advise the government, if there's a way, I mean, they should meet them, even if they have to meet them halfway, and it's possible, they should do that. I mean, so that we don't have to short for a month. Then you have queues at the fuel stations and all that, which in a way ties down to economic activities. You know, this our market women, the moment fuel short, you know, Ghana, everything will go up, even water. So, I mean, the government should find a way to, sit down with them, they should judge and find the best possible solution as fast as possible.
If there's going to be a likely shortage, then that means that it's going to worry businesses, actually, like people that big bread, and also people also that cook. Yeah, we sell food and those stuff. It's going to, and then we that we use it in the house too. It's going to also worry us. Yeah. I feel that they should try their possible best to solve the issue for us because we need gas in our everyday life. Like that's what we use, so we need it.
I can just say that I'm just pleading them that they should manage because maybe next year we'll get a new government that will help us to do the road and things. So you should manage to have the gas. Without the gas, we can't cook and things because the gas really help us and things. So they should manage. No matter it's really hard, but they should manage and help us a little. Maybe like this year and they will get a new year, a new president, and things will start changing and things.
Chief Executive Officer of the Oil Marketing Companies, Kwekwajo Mandia, says many fuel outlets are at the verge of running out.
Oh, definitely will run out. If we run, because normally what we do is we do replacement on Mondays. And this Monday we never had the opportunity to do the replacement for the weekend stock, which has been depleted. So then midweek, Wednesday, we start also doing something. Then Friday, we get something for the weekend. Now we are going past the Monday one, and it means it's the whole stock that we have that we are depleting, and we are not replenishing the stock. So we have gone 48 hours down. By the time we hit the 72 hours, it becomes so crucial. That's why you get to the station so that there's no fuel. There's no fuel. People should no fuel, and that's what's going to happen. And then when you get to the stage, even getting some people to buy fuel becomes a problem.
Listen to Vice President of the LPG Marketers Association, Gabriel Kumi, who says a strike is spelling chaos for its members.
I've been to a gas station at Kentinkroni in Kumasi. Already there are queues there. I've also been to one at, and I've seen a lot of queues there. On Monday, I did predict that by Wednesday, if this situation is not resolved, we will start seeing queues in the outlets. And if this should prolong to Friday, we are in for chaos. And even the petrol stations. I mean, I've had the opportunity of speaking to some of the oil marketing companies, and the stock they have cannot take them more than 24 hours. So if the situation persists by Friday, which is also leading into a weekend, we are likely to have a crisis on that. The one at Kenton Corner tells me that by close of today, they will run out. They have just about 10 tons, which looking at the pressure coming on them, they are likely to run out by close of today.
Away from LPG, residents of Central Kofi, Lolobi, Bori and Akpafo are kicking against government's intention to mine some mineral deposits in that area. The area is endowed with iron ore deposit, but residents say any attempt by the state to start mining in that area will greatly affect their social and economic lives. They have formed an anti-iron ore mining committee to have a united front to kick against any mining activity in that area. Peter Senu has more.
4 communities from Central Kofi, Akpafo, Lolobi and Bori have declared their intention not to allow government or any entity to mine iron ore deposits in these areas. Their concerns are born from what is currently happening in mining communities in Ghana, where water bodies are heavily polluted with other social and economic negative impacts of mining. For the residents, it is a no to mining from all fronts. The 4 communities have therefore formed an anti-iron ore mining committee to have a common voice to protect their communities and heritage. Emma Amuzu is one of the concerned women. As peasants, she says their livelihood, which is farming, would be jeopardized greatly.
We've seen what is happening in Ghana, especially Ashanti and other areas, the way the mining is destroying a lot of things. So here, the only job our parents do is farming. And then we have these beautiful mountains up here. If we allow them to come and mine here, then they will destroy our land, they will destroy our farming areas. We wouldn't have anything, any place to farm again. This is the main reason why we said no, we don't want, because we want the beautiful forest and the mountain to remain there as it was before our forefathers left. And so we are here, especially me, on behalf of the women, saying that no.
Samuel Tete is a metallurgical engineer and has 20 years mining industry experience and hails from the area. He provided some industry experience but wants government to engage communities so as to win their trust before providing any permits or licenses on mining in these areas.
As a technical person, a lot of stakeholder engagement is needed, where the communities will have to be told the bare truth. Looking at it in context, the benefit to the community in terms of social infrastructure, maybe they will build schools, build roads, build hospitals, but the effect is that the community will be hungry, their agriculture will be adversely affected, and the source of rainfall, drinking water, their sources of water all originate from these mountains. As soon as you disturb the land area, you expose the minerals to rain. So even if you tell the community you drill boreholes, have you looked at the effect of the pollution of surface mining into the underground water? Aside that, what will be the effect of dust, fugitive dust? If you breathe it in, what is the health effect of airborne diseases on the community? This is where I am coming from.
But why are residents in these areas not interested in developing their communities through mining? Here is Emma again.
What development are we seeing? We are not seeing any development. And for that matter, we cannot stand here today and say, yes, mining brings development. What development is it bringing in the Ashanti region, Western region, etc., etc.? We cannot allow anybody to come and destroy our forests and then our farms. If there is a development, we would have been seeing it already. Charity begins at home. And for that matter, we can't stand here now and believe any government that, yes, they will come and then mine here and then bring development. What sort of development, for heaven's sake?
Nana Olato is the Chidomhini for Central Kofi traditional area. For him, the destruction of their source of water through the mining activities is his concern. Peter Sanu for Joy News.
Back here in Accra, President Akufo-Addo says the gold for oil deal has played a pivotal role in maintaining stability in petroleum product prices. He indicates the economy has seen a significant growth of 4.2% in the first quarter of 2023, with the cedi being stable, thus bringing relief to the market. Speaking at the Eid-ul-Adha celebrations, President Akufo-Addo emphasized that the implementation of the gold for oil deal has contributed to stabilizing the price of petroleum product.
It is this attitude and commitment by government that have enabled our nation to obtain an IMF program in record time. As you can see, we're beginning to navigate the turbulence, with our economy growing by 4.2% in the first quarter of 2023. The currency has seen some stability lately, and through the Gold for Oil program, we've seen the stability in the prices of petroleum products as well, all of which are helping to bring inflation down. Things are getting better and will get better, I can assure you.
The president urged citizens to continue to support government in its efforts to revive the economy.
Muslim faithful, fellow Ghanaians, in the spirit of Eid, I ask you to continue to support the government, your government, to deliver the needed progress and prosperity that we all seek. I said at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic that we do not know how to bring back lives, but we know how to bring back the economy. I stand by those words. Inshallah, we're working to restore the economy to full health, and inshallah, we shall do so. The young people in our Muslim community, you have every right to celebrate today. By all means celebrate, but by all means be cautious. Your life matters to the nation and to your family.
President of the National Graduate Association of Teachers, NAGRAT, Angel Kabonu, has chastised authorities of the St. Monica Senior High School at Mampong in the Ashanti region following the death of a student there. The deceased is alleged to have been denied an exit after she requested to go home to seek medical attention. Listen to the livid NAGRAT president speaking in an audio broadcast to teachers saying the issue could have been prevented.
My dear colleague teachers, there is an unfortunate development in Mampong, St. Monica Senior High School that has led to the interdiction of the management of the school. I've had a lot of complaints from our members to intervene in the case, but I wonder how and why this situation should arise in the first place. A girl falls sick and comes for exit to go to the hospital. The girl is shown to the house staff documentary evidence that will take her to the hospital, and then the girl is refused exit, leading to the death of this girl. Now people are threatening brimstone against the Ghana Education Service. Teachers are being insulted left and right on local radio stations and so on and so forth. My colleagues, sometimes I don't know what is wrong with us teachers drawing onto ourselves problems and challenges that nobody compensates us for. If a student is sick and there is evidence that the student is sick and the student comes to you for exit, what on earth do you benefit for refusing the student an exit to go to hospital? What on earth? What do you stand to benefit as a teacher for refusing to give exit to a student to go to the hospital? We have reports when parents who gave birth to their own children come to you and say, I want to take my daughter home, I want to take my son home for this and that a reason, and school authorities will say, I will not allow you. At the end of the day, when there is a problem, you want all of us to share the problem. How much are you being compensated for job that is unnecessarily done by you, that people don't even recognize? But the story in Mampong is a very, very sad one. And an innocent girl is lost her life just because a house mistress is refused to do her duty. How can you say that it is not time for exit? Therefore, whether you are sick or not, whether you are dying or not, I am not going to give you exit. Colleague teachers, sometimes we attract onto ourselves some of these invectives and negative expressions that people make against us. If you feel that the house staff job is too much for you, you can resign. There is no need for this girl to die at St. Monica's at all.
You heard the Angel Kabonu, he's president of NAGRAT. Some passengers sustained minor injuries as the Metro Mass Transit bus with registration number GN616316 collided head-on with an articulated long truck with registration number GT2586H. The accident, which occurred on Wednesday on the Juaso section of the Kumasi-Accra Road, involved a Metro Mass Transit bus and a VIP bus, all headed to Accra. There's more in this report.
This is a bird's eye view of the Juaso section of the main Accra-Kumasi highway Wednesday morning. Movement of vehicles on the road was heavily impeded, with scores of passengers left stranded as these two buses with registration numbers GN 6163-16 and GT 2586H collided, blocking the road. According to some eyewitnesses, the Metro Mass bus was trying to avoid a stationary vehicle on the side of the road but crashed into the long truck, whilst the VIP also crashed into the rear of the buses.
Yeah, but there is a deep bus. The who has said was slowed down to say, breaking at once. Say, I think could be on a chair. No safe Muslims need. I'm the pick up which thing be doing. Into Kofobas news or qua, be careful. To slow down. That's a sweet next. The boat me grab and a boat bring it rubber in your first seat. Go break, pay me, you know, and Yaguma. Let's say, Cobb ball, Kofobas next, and I look up ball. Clean. Nipper or can't be a prepare. sister bi a ono ne last person be for car na obi atimi na esi ne bag ni nkum ti bag ni nkum na ese bag na inside na MMT ese osi from osi na sister bi be free ono be for akiri no oni pray.
Eyewitnesses say the Metro Mass Transit bus, which was headed towards Accra, stopped for the trailer to move through the opposite lane, but the VIP bus, which was following the MMT bus, directly crashed into its rear, forcing the Metro bus to collide with the trailer. This young man, who was on board the articulated truck, narrates the incident.
Yes, I never. Ana taxi me nisi ha. Omo yini ba. Ana kaba ko si se ha no. Ana we show ba. Ya be ya dan. We na tiasi from. We ba school bus we. O tiasi from ya dan ama ekwan ama ya ba. O ti si from ana we nso ya dan. We ni si the speed e ba e be pem no to. Ana we ni so ya dan e be mai. E to e ti.
Na wo ti ka de.
Na mti trailer no. Timi masa so de onde na ko hospital ni tiha ne pa
na nipa ni bia prepare
nipa bia prapra de bas nipa bia prapra to mu na mo yi mo de ko hospital on se nipa san de ai na mintimi.
Passengers were left stranded for hours as traffic flow on the main road also ceased.
We're still live on the Eid-ul-Adha edition of Joy News Prime. We'll take a break. When we return, there's more on Eid-ul-Adha. Welcome back to Joy News Prime, and Barka da Sallah to the Muslim Ummah, because Muslims in the Upper West region today have joined their colleagues from the rest of the country to celebrate this year's Eid-ul-Adha festival, also known as a festival of sacrifice. Leading the congregational prayers here in Accra at the Independence Square, Chief Imam Sheikh Nuh Shaributu prayed for peace to prevail in the protracted Boko conflict.
Your Excellency, Chief Imam says on this special occasion he commits the whole of the nation into the care of the Almighty Allah. Indeed, Allah has kept order in our country and given us peace. We ask him to enhance the peace and harmony. The situation is in Boko is of concern to us. We ask Almighty Allah to bring his peace to Boko. Our nation, Ghana, we ask Almighty Allah to keep intact our country. The two leaders that God has given to us, His Excellency the President and His Excellency the Vice President, we commit them unto the care of Allah. May Allah grant them His protection. May Allah help them. May Allah give them the strength on which they are able to take care of the whole of the nation. May Allah enhance them in their health. May Allah continue to increase the peace that we are enjoying in our country. May Allah give us more peace. Our compatriots, as you said, Your Excellency, who are in Mecca at the moment, we ask Allah to grant them His traveling mercies that they will arrive in peace. You have kept the tradition of supporting and helping the Muslims during on such occasion. We pray that Allah will reward you abundantly and deservingly.
Joy News' Upper West Regional correspondent Rafiq Salam, who joined the celebrants in Wa, reports that celebration for some was not only restricted for the 2 rakat open prayer, but opportunity for family reunion.
Several thousands of worshippers of the Ahmadiyya Muslim faith, majority of whom gorgeously and exquisitely dressed in white apparel, converged at the Zuzairi Gardens for the 2 rakat open prayer. The yearly congregational prayer is laced with 12 takbirs, signifying the 12 calendar months, with the first 7 performed in the first rakat. On all occasions, the Imam raised his hands towards the ears, saying, Allahu Akbar. Our power Sudan missionary of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission, Maulvi Masroor Ahmed Muzaffar, led the prayer. He later delivered a short sermon, reminding the worshippers of the sacrifices made by Prophet Abraham, urging them to emulate his exemplary life.
So today I just wanted to let our members should know the sacrifice which we are doing every year, years upon years. It is one incident and so many explanations. Today the explanation, Allah the Almighty says, the sacrifices which we are doing, the blood and the meat can never reach to the God. Walakin yanallahu taqwa, that what thing reaches to the God Almighty is this, the taqwa, the fear of Almighty Allah and the love of Almighty Allah which reaches to Him.
Some of the worshippers share their thoughts on the celebration of the Eid-ul-Adha.
This occasion has been born out of the sacrifice of Abraham and Ishmael together with the mother. And this was a solemn situation where Ishmael would have been sacrificed. But Allah made it this way for us, and instead of killing Ishmael, they have substituted with a ram or some other animal. So it's an occasion for us to reflect, all Ghanaians, that what brings to bear on all of us as citizens is to sacrifice, so that the generality of citizens in this country will enjoy any kind of governance. Any kind of hardship will not be tolerated by Allah Almighty. So the duty bearers are duty bound to do service to humanity.
And this is a big day for Muslims around the world and for any other person who wishes to join. And I'm very glad to send a message of peace to every single person to continue to observe this for the next couple of days, which will go a long way to enhance the celebration and peace to everybody.
Sacrificing animals does not mean that you are just killing the animal. You have to sacrifice all the negative tendencies in you so that you will live a good life. So that is what I think about this Eid.
It's been successful, it's nice, it's one of the important things for a Muslim, and we traveled all the way from Accra to join our family and then to celebrate it together.
Ghana's ambassador to Saudi Arabia, His Excellency Mohammed Habib Tijani, has assured the general public that enough measures have been put in place to ensure absolute safety of the over 4,000 Ghanaian pilgrims currently in Saudi Arabia to perform the Hajj rituals, which is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. He was speaking ahead of a trip to Mina in preparation for the major Hajj activities. And Sabit has more.
This year's Hajj is a landmark, the first full pilgrimage after a daunting period of 3 years when the COVID-19 pandemic sharply reduced the scale of one of Islam's holiest rites. For these pilgrims, it is the ultimate spiritual moment of their lives, a chance to seek God's forgiveness for their sins and walk in the footsteps of revered prophets like Muhammad and Abraham. Ghana as a country is fully represented with over 4,000 pilgrims currently part of the millions of Muslims from around the world in Saudi Arabia to perform this important religious obligation. Ghana's ambassador to Saudi Arabia, His Excellency Mohammed Habib Tijani, who is excited at the arrival of the final batch of pilgrims, says enough measures have been put in place to make life in Arabia comfortable for the thousands of Ghanaian pilgrims.
This year it appears we are going to see a more successful Hajj. This is because the measures we put in place here, that is the Hajj board, the Consul General, with the support of the embassy, we know the pilgrims are going to find life very comfortable here. And I want to assure them that we are around to support them. And the government of Ghana is also calling on us to do everything that we can to ensure that things are very smooth here, inshallah.
He says the manifestations of the pilgrims is an indication that their stay in Saudi and the organization of this year's Hajj will be one of the best in recent times.
Most of them have told us that their accommodation this year is even closer and more befitting than what they have experienced several years. Although last year was seen to be better, this year seems to be the best, inshallah. We hope everything will be good.
For the chairman of the Ghana Hajj Board, Ben Abdallah Banda, the team is working enormously to ensure that the over 4,000 pilgrims conduct their Hajj activities in safe atmosphere and are lifted back home safely.
Our people in Ghana, back in Ghana, I want to let them be at peace that all the pilgrims are safe in Jeddah. Some of them are in Makkah. We are only hoping and praying that at the end of the day, we're going to have a successful Hajj, and those of us who are here will be finally airlifted back to Ghana.
Secretary of the Ghana Hajj Board, Alhaji Farouk Hamza, underscored the objective of the Ghana Hajj Board's quest to secure a much better accommodation which is closer to the Prophet's Mosque in Medina.
Away from Eid-ul-Adha, in a surprising turn of events, the highly anticipated debut of Osei Duchum SHS, named after the Education Minister, fell short of expectations as they struggled to make an impression in the Ashanti Regional NSMQ qualifiers. Despite the hopes and aspirations surrounding their first-time appearance, contestants of the school found themselves grappling with challenges unable to assert their dominance among seasoned contenders. The school is, however, vowing to return stronger in future competitions with determination to rewrite their narrative. Emmanuel Bright Kwaku has more.
These are the students from Osei Duchum Senior High School. Unfortunately, they couldn't qualify to the national tournament. This is your first time coming to the National Science and Maths. How do you see it?
It was a thrilling contest. Looking at the competition from Aguna SDA, I think they did very well. We also did our part, but unfortunately for us, we couldn't qualify. We've not come out to any external contest before. This is our first time. Our students prepared. When you are doing in school, you see that they will be answering the questions. But from the first round, you could clearly see that they were tensed. And once you are tensed, you see that answering questions, you have to think and the rest. So in the second round, they bounced back. But by that time, you see that the other schools have taken off already. So the Form 2s are here. They've seen it for themselves. For Aguna SDA like this, last year, the same contestants came here. So it was the same contestant that stood for them last year. They were in Form 2. They are in Form 3. They came to, this year. They couldn't make it last year. They made it this year. So our students are also here. They've gained the experience, and we are pushing up.
I know in some schools like Prempeh College, they have an establishment sort of for, let's say, the science and maths quiz. In your school, how is the case, preparations and everything, or resources?
We are beginners. That's all I can say. We are beginners. And once you are beginning, you cannot begin from 10. You begin from 1. So we have begun from a place, and we are looking up to the resources Prempeh has. Not long ago, we went to St. Hubert. Look at the resources they have. So we are looking at, all I can say is that we have begun.
I understand this is your first time trying. How did you see the contest coming here?
Oh, the contest was tough though, but in fact, this is our first time to the contest. And with 18 points, we hope there is more room for improvement next year. And we train our juniors to work very hard as we did.
Okay, so when you sat on stage, how did it feel for the very first time for you?
Sitting for the stage first time, it was pressure though, yeah. Pressure was inside, but as soon as I was answering the questions, first, second, third questions, I got to the mood.
If you just joined us, it's Joy News Prime coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemle on the Fan of our Streets. Let's take a break. When we return, there's business.
Hi, good evening. Welcome to Business. My name is Darrell Kwao. Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry, Dr. Stephen Amoah, has expressed worry about the consistent increase in the Bank of Ghana's policy rate. According to him, this is impeding the growth of trade and industry since businesses borrow at a higher interest rate. He's therefore urging the Bank of Ghana to reconsider its in controlling inflation. He spoke at the second Financial Economic Seminar held in Accra.
This year's Financial Economic Seminar, organized by the Financial Economic Institute Africa, focused on the impact of socio-economic policies on trade and industries in Ghana and developing countries. Ghana's industrial sector has been impacted by current economic challenges, shrinking by 3.2% in its contribution to economic growth in the first quarter of this year. The country continues to depend on imports to the detriment of local industries. Speakers at the seminar urged the government to create an enabling environment for the private sector to expand. Delivering his remarks, Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry, Dr. Stephen Amoah, advised the Bank of Ghana to control its policy rate to cushion businesses.
When policy rate was around 12.5, interest rate was 15.7. We started increasing interest rate. I mean, we call it inflationary rate target monetary policy. And it went as far as policy rate went to almost 30%, and inflation went to about over 40%. So it wasn't addressing it. So when we are trying to deal with some of these issues, that governments and other policymakers and decision-making bodies such as Central Bank of Ghana, although to me they are doing so much well, they should sometimes they shouldn't depend so much on the global application of some of these models, but we should do specifics, because it's very important that tailor-made application of policies rather bring the expected resource of a society or specific community. A lot of the companies in our countries cannot grow organically because there is inadequate of funds. And even the Russian funds that they will get from the banks will always have double-digit interest rate. What it means is that the companies cannot expand enough to employ the labor force. Two, the companies cannot produce enough to meet demand. So we will be forced to import. And once we import, we will demand more dollars, and our currency will be weak.
President of Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obeng, urged government to reduce the cost of taxes to improve compliance by businesses.
Our credits are overpriced, and that we are not competitive to the rest of the world. This time we do not do business in isolation. We do business with the rest of the world. So if you are formulating a policy in your country and you do not factor what happens in your neighboring countries, it means that you are out of competition. And this is exactly what I was trying to drum home about, that we have to make taxes affordable. We've talked so many times that tax to GDP in our neighboring countries is far higher than that of Ghana. Why is this so? It's so because their taxes are fewer and then affordable as well. Ours is so many. So because their taxes are affordable, compliance level in those countries that we're talking about are so high that have made the tax to GDPs in these countries far higher than that of Ghana. And so it is very important for authorities to know, sit down with us again, evaluate things, dissect things, and then make cost of doing business very attractive here in this country.
The speakers also called for mutual beneficial policies for the benefits of both private and public sector. The annual Financial Economics Seminar is aimed at finding long-term solutions to most of the finance and economic challenges confronting developing economies, including Ghana.
And that's your business update. My name is Darrell Kwao. I shall be back with more.
As I wrap up Joy News Prime tonight, my name is Aisha Prime. Log on to myjoyonline.com. You'll get more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. From all of us here at Joy News, Eid Mubarak to the Muslim Ummah. Enjoy the rest of our programs.